Undercover long enough, Santa Clarita goes public with its fight.
Heroin in the spoon, add some water. They would heat it up on the back. You can see the burn marks on the spoon from heating it up while they dilute it. Once it's heated up and all liquid, they'll use a small syringe like this, draw it up, and then inject themselves.
My son's starting heroin about a year ago, and he went from smoking pot, which is a gateway drug, into shooting heroin.
I didn't start using heroin until I was about 16, and that's a pretty young age. But it was brought into here, it was actually the first time I did it was at a school. One of the schools. There's a lot of drugs in schools.
There is so much heroin in this town. You can buy it at the local parks, you can buy it at Granary Square. It is everywhere.
And the city is addressing this concern today with the presentation, This High is a Lie.
Tell all that you can that this is a problem that we need to face together. Heroin kills. We don't need to lose any more sons and daughters in Santa Clarita.
Heroin today is stronger than it has ever been, and it's killing our kids. And the most important thing that you can do is get yourself educated so you can tell your kids, tell your friends' kids, make sure that we are a community that looks after our kids and lets them know that heroin kills.
At age 15, I was already using Oxycontin. And Oxycontin is where it starts at, Oxycontin is right before the heroin. Started using Oxycontin every single day, kind of getting strung out on pills. At about age 16 and a half, I was entering my junior year at high school, and it was brought to me in school. A lot of drugs are actually brought into the high schools.
What it did is it took my son from graduating with honors as a senior to being arrested 3 times for stealing to support his habit, for being placed in 3 different rehabs, the last rehab being a year. He lived in his car several times, every time he would start back using again. He had a court appearance for probation for one of the times he was arrested, so we flew him back into the state to make the court appearance. He was here less than 48 hours when he got hold of those same people again. He had been sober for 2 years, or 2 months, and that was it. It took that one time. And I'm going to be pretty graphic right now to you parents, so hopefully it doesn't happen to you. But the last time I physically got to kiss my son, tell him I love him, and tell him I'm sorry that his life ended this way was on a gurney before the coroner took him away from me.
The reason why I think with young people, and they don't seek assistance as fast as they should, is I think the majority of them think that they're just high. Like when they drink alcohol, well, he's just drunk. They don't really realize that this particular individual is not breathing, or is in distress and needs help until it's too late.
In the last year, 2010, we had over 100 heroin arrests here in the Santa Clarita Valley. In the last year, we've had 9 fatalities as a result of heroin. I know some people said, oh, Santa Clarita, we got a problem. No, this is nationally happening across the country. But we, as a community, are stepping up to protect our young people before it becomes a bigger issue.
In recent months, rehab facilities have seen a dramatic increase in those seeking treatment.
Since January, we've admitted 453 heroin addicts to our treatment centers. 453 heroin addicts to our treatment centers. That's up over 65% of last year. It's pretty incredible. We do 153 admissions a month to our centers. Out of 153 admissions, 60 to almost 70% is heroin. So we really need to start paying attention.
He's gone through a couple battles in rehab, and there's nothing worse than going and searching your child's room and finding needles and needles and needles.
I was kind of just sick and tired of being sick and tired, so I told my parents that I was using again. Now I'm in Bakersfield at an Action Family Counseling Residential, and I'm doing really good there, and now I'm here to help save the city.
And if the parents are educated, then they have a chance on helping their kids and talking to their kids and having an education on what it is they're talking about. Because the drug dealers are talking to our kids, so as parents we have to talk to our kids that much more.
I'm just here to learn and educate my kid and what to stay away from.
You know, the church is not immune to normal human problems, family issues, and obviously our kids are involved in the same world everybody else is involved in, and sometimes I think the church wants to kind of act as though that's not a problem for us, when in reality it's sitting in our buildings every week.
Why are you here?
I see it happening to my friends a lot at school, and I see that they're coming from a family that is involved with drugs, or that what their parents have done to them or what their friends have done to them, they think that drugs can be the answer and that they won't have to deal with their problems anymore if they do drugs.
Today I learned not to do any drugs, especially heroin, because that can kill you.
I've had the unfortunate job at many times to having to tell parents and family members that their loved one has passed away. But I never thought drugs and alcohol would find its way into my family, because I thought I did all the right things as a parent. I know better, right? I'm a fireman. I was wrong. I have 3 beautiful daughters, 22, 26, and 28. My oldest and youngest daughter started using drugs and alcohol in junior high, and both have been in multiple rehabs as we tried to battle the disease. My wife and I were alone, lost, ashamed, and scared. Denial and shame and embarrassment are what keeps us from seeking help. In some cases, maybe it's even pride. I know for me, I thought I didn't need the help. I thought I could do it myself. The first step is to reach out for help. You will find that you're not alone, that others have traveled the road before you, and they can give you hope and guidance.
Also, that when we have a baby, we're all so excited and we go out and buy all those little gizmos to baby-proof our house, that we need to do the same thing once we have teenagers. We need to teen-proof our house. That means all those medicine cabinets locked up, liquor cabinets locked up, inhalants put away, anything that could be a danger, not just to your child, but to another child entering your home. You need to protect them from themselves, basically. And the number one thing that they said is, while they're all like in their 20s now, enjoying a relationship now with their parents where we can actually say we're friends, they all said one thing: I'm glad you were not my friend when I was a teenager. I love having you as my friend now that we're adults and we can share together. But when I was a teen, I was glad to know you were there being my parent.
I'd like to read from a list, if I can, that I started when I took command about 1.5 years ago. And it involves overdose deaths. 27-year-old male overdose death, died December 2009. 22-year-old male overdose death, died February 2010. A 47-year-old female overdose death, died February 2010. 21-year-old male overdose death, died February 2010. 21-year-old male overdose death, died March 2011. 18-year-old male overdose death, died March 2011. 28-year-old male overdose death, died April 2011. 24-year-old male overdose death, died May 2011. 21-year-old male overdose death, died August 2011. 47-year-old female overdose death, died August 2011. Ladies and gentlemen, these are all Santa Clarita residents.
Getting sober is easy. You just got to change everything. All your friends, the playgrounds, the toys, and all the stuff you used to do. So it's easy, but it's life-changing.
One brave young adult received an ovation as she asked for help during the meeting.
And I'm just like everybody else. I didn't think heroin affected this town. I had my head in the sand. I just pray to God he gets it this time. And he's my son, and I will do anything in my power to keep him alive.
And if there was one thing you could say to every Santa Clarita teen, what would you tell them?
Never pick up that first time. That first time will kill you.